So for this time, we're going to design a reinforced concrete na T-beam. So we have here our design example. So given na meron tayong factor bending moment na 348.36, ito naman yung geometry. Yung web width is 300 millimeters, yung flange thickness is 100 millimeters, yung beam depth is 600, yung clear length is 6.10 meters, tsaka yung clear spacing ng mga beam webs is 3 meters. Ito naman yung mga concrete properties. So we have our FC prime to be 28 megapascal, the clear concrete cover na 40 millimeters, and aggregate size na 19 millimeters. Sa steel reinforcement na properties, we have our yield strength ng ating steel reinforcement to be 420 megapascal, the elastic modulus of steel, 200 gigapascal, and ito naman yung ating mga rebar size for longitudinal bars, 25 millimeters, yung diameter. Then, yung strain ng tension scale natin is 0.005. This is for design. The assumed layer ng rebars natin, assume muna natin na single layer. The beam configuration to be simply supported. Tsaka yung web na configuration is meron siyang web on each side. So ito yung design calculation. So first is we have to determine what shall be the size ng ating stirrups. Since yung bar diameter natin is 25 millimeters and this is less than 32 millimeters, therefore, yung diameter ng ating stirrups is 10 millimeters. After that is yung steel covering. So considering that we have here a single layer ng steel reinforcement, so ito yung magiging equation natin to determine the steel covering. So yung C sub C, yan yung clear concrete cover, plus yung diameter ng ties na 10, plus yung bar diameter na 25 divided by 2. So 62.5 yung makukuha natin value. After that is to determine the effective depth. So considering na single layer yung ating steel reinforcement, so H minus the steel covering lang. So yung H natin based sa problem is taken to be 600. So babawasan lang natin ito ng steel covering na 62.5. So makuha nating value is 537.5. After nito is yung yield strain ng ating tension steel. So Fy lang over ng elastic modulus ng steel. So 420 divided by 200,000. So we'll get 0.0021. After nito is yung strength reduction factor. So considering na yung strain based on sa ating given is 0.005, therefore yung strength reduction factor natin sa pag-design ng ating beam shall be taken as 0.9. After nito is yung required na nominal moment strength. So since given na yung factored na moment natin, i-divide na lang natin ito sa ating phi na 0.9. So yung factored moment natin is 348.36. Divide na lang natin ito by 0.9. So we'll get 387.07. So just a short na lecture or review. Talking about T-beam, meron tayong dalawang type. We have yung monolithic or composite na slabs. T-beam supporting monolithic or composite na slabs as you can see here in this figure. And then meron din tayong isolated na T-beam. For our design example here, yung kinonsider natin is a T-beam supporting a monolithic or composite na slab. So, big sabihin nito, sabay buhos yung ating rectangular na beam tsaka yung mga slabs. So, therefore, we can analyze our beam here as a T-beam. Now, na-state rin sa problem na merong web on each side. So, big sabihin, ito yung ating i-consider. So, first na i-determine muna natin is itong pag-solve ng ating effective na flange width. So, meron tayong dalawa. Meron tayong one web sa isang side, and then meron din tayong dalawang web on both side. If we're going to consider yung isang web no sa isang side, ito yung magiging shape ng ating T-beam. And based doon sa sa NACP, yung yung clear na dimension dito from the edge ng ating beam shall be taken as the minimum value among these three equations. 6 times yung HF, take note yung HF, ito yung thickness ng ating flange or slab natin. SW all over 2. So yung SW, ito yung clear na na dimension between sa ng mga beam web. Then yung ln all over 12. So yung ln, yan yung clear length ng ating TB divided by 2. So para makuha natin yung overall na dito, effective flange width, we have to add yung BW tsaka yung minimum na value among these three equations. So that's why meron tayong derived na equation na ganito. Okay? Kung i-consider naman natin yung merong web no on each side. Ito naman yung ating equation. So yung dimension dito from the edge ng ating beam papunta dito, ito yung minimum ng tatlong equation. 8 times ng ating HF, SW all over 2, tsaka LN all over 8. So para makuha natin yung overall na dimension ng ating effective na flange width, therefore we're going to add yung BW tsaka yung 2 times ng dalawang mga clear dimensions dito. So that's why meron tayong equation na BW plus 16 times HF kasi yung 8, we multiply it by 2, naging 16. Next naman is yung BW plus SW kasi SW all over 2 plus SW all over 2, that is taken to be SW. Then lastly, BW plus L all over 8 plus L all over 8, that is equivalent to Ln all over 4. So we can make use of this derived equation for solving the effective flange width na merong web on each, merong flanges on each side. So effective flange width for one side web, ito yung ating equation. So this is the minimum among these three equations. However, na-state sa problem na yung condition is for each side web. Meaning, merong web dito sa kabila, tsaka merong web dito sa kabila. Meaning, itong shape na ito yung ating i-consider. So, solve natin yung una equation. So, we have BW plus 16HF. So, kung balikan natin, yung BW is taken to be 300 plus yung HF na 100. 16 times 100. So this is equivalent to 1,900. Next naman is PW plus SW. So kung check natin yung SW, based sa problem, that is equivalent to 3 meters. But we still have to convert this to millimeters kasi naka-meter yung unit. So 3 times 1,000. We'll get 3,300. Then lastly is BW plus LN all over 4. So yung LN based sa problem is 6.10. Then mag-times lang tayo ng 1,000 para ma-convert sa millimeters. This is LN all over 4. So we have 1,825. So that's why yung effective flange width natin na i-consider sa ating design is 1,825 millimeters. Next na i-consider natin is we have to solve or we're going to analyze if yung A ba natin is greater than or less than sa HF or flange na depth na thickness. Kasi ito yung magiging cross-section natin sakali na yung A, ito yung A natin, ay lampas sa thickness ng ating flange. So, in short, itong shaded na area dito, ito na ngayon yung magiging area ng ating concrete block. Sakali naman na yung A natin is less than H sub F, therefore, ito naman yung magiging cross-section natin tsaka stress diagram. As you can see here, yung shaded na region dito, ito yung area ng ating compression block. So for our solution, first and foremost, we have to determine muna yung trial na moment arm. So based dito, meron tayong mga suggested na equations para ma-determine yung moment arm. So in short, we're going to conduct here a iterative na process hanggang sa makuha natin yung magiging value ng ating required na steel area. So yung Z dito, as you can see dito sa figure, okay, yung Z, this is the moment arm or the distance between the tensile force ng steel reinforcement tsaka yung compressive force ng ating compression block stress. So by trial and error, this is equivalent to the maximum value between these two equations. So kung i-solve natin yung 0.9 or 90% ng D, yung value ng D natin is effective depth 537.5. This is equivalent to 483. 483.75. Then itong dalawa naman na equation is P minus yung HF all over 2, 100 divided by 2. We have 487.5. So, state dito sa problem that the maximum value between these two equations ay ito yung mag-govern. So that's why yung 487.5 yung magiging trial na moment arm natin. After that, we're going to sum up our moment dito uh, sa location or centroid ng ating compression block na force. So in short, dito tayo mag-moment. Kung saan man yung magiging centroid ng ating area ng ating compression block. So therefore, yung nominal moment natin, Mn, will now be equivalent to T times yung ating moment arm na D minus Y. D minus Y, Z. So yung T natin, if we're going to substitute the equation, that is equivalent to AS times yung ating Fy times yung ating moment arm na Z. After that, we're going to equate both sides of our equation here by Fyz para makalculate natin yung required na steel area, yung trial na required steel area. So yung ating nominal moment na na-solve kanina is equivalent to 387.0667. So mag times 10 tayo to the power of 6 para ma-convert ito sa Newton times millimeter. Then we're going to divide this by Fy times yung trial na moment arm na Z. So yung Fy natin, if I'm not mistaken, that is 420 times yung Z, yung trial na moment arm na 487.5. So yung makalculate natin is 1,890.4355. After that, we're going to sum up our forces to be equivalent to 0 such that yung C will now be equivalent to T. We're going to base it here sa ating diagram. If we're going to sum up our forces, yung tensile force T natin will be equivalent to compressive force ng ating compression block stress na C. So therefore, AS times Fy will now be equivalent to 0.85 Fc prime times yung area ng ating compression block. So AS times Fy is equivalent to 0.85 Fc prime times AC. If we're going to divide both sides of our equation by 0.85 Fc prime, therefore yung trial na area ng ating concrete block will now be equivalent to AS times Fy all over 0.85 times yung ating Fc prime. So yung AS is equivalent to 1890 times 0.4355 times yung Fy na 420 divided by 0.85 times yung ating Fc prime na 28 will get 33,360.6263 square millimeters. Since meron na tayong area ng ating compression block, i-compare natin to sa area ng ating flange. So yung area ng flange na tinutukoy dito is ito siya. Again, yung area ng compression block, yung A sub C, ito yung naka-shaded na region, for example. So i-compare natin ito sa area ng ating flange. Ito lang, which is equivalent to BF times yung ating HF. So sakali na yung A sub C natin ay lalampas sa ating area ng ating flange, meaning itong shaded na region yung magiging area ng ating compression block if we're going to visualize it. Meaning, yung A natin is greater than our HF. Pero sakali naman na yung area ng ating compression block, yung A sub C, is less than sa area ng ating flange, itong illustration naman na ito, yung ating magiging, yung magiging result. Meaning, yung A is less than our HF. So, if we're going to compare, solve muna natin yung area ng ating yung ating flange area. Hindi to trial, by the way. Yung flange area natin is BF times HF. So, yung BF natin na nasolve kanina is equivalent to 1825 times yung HF na 100. So, we'll get 182,500. Since yung ating area ng ating compression block is 33,000, greater siya sa flange area natin na less than pala, no? Less than siya sa ating flange area na 182,500. So therefore, itong illustration na ito yung ating gagamitin. Ibig sabihin, yung A is less siya sa thickness ng ating flange. So, depth ng ating compression block, yung trial, since yung AC natin is less than siya sa ating AF, therefore yung area ng ating compression block will just be equivalent to A times yung ating BF. So gagamitin natin to na equation para ma-solve natin yung ating A. Total, meron na tayong na-solve, di ba? Na area ng compression block. Bali, i-divide na lang natin ito sa B sub F or flange na width para ma-solve natin yung ating A. So yung ating A sub C is 33,360.6263. This is equivalent sa ating A times yung B sub F natin na 1825 ba yan? 1,825. So yung masasolve natin na value is 18.2798. Yan. Since meron na tayong A, masasolve na rin natin yung mga iba pang dito, mga properties. So first is, yung next pala is yung pag-solve natin ng centroid ng ating compression block na area. Papunta doon sa extreme fiber ng ating concrete sa compression na side. So ito yung trial na area. Since yung A sub C natin is less than siya sa ating A sub F, we're going to make use of this equation, A all over 2. So we have 18.2798. Divide natin sa 2, we'll get 9.1399. Since meron na tayong y, so therefore, masasolve na natin ngayon yung ating moment arm. So, yung magiging revise ng moment arm natin is d minus y na ngayon. So, if we're going to check kung ano yung value ng d kanina, or effective depth, yung d natin is 537.5. 37.5 minus yung ating y na 9.1399. So we have here 528.3601. Since na-revise yung ano natin, yung moment arm, we're going to repeat again the procedure hanggang sa at least 2 decimals magpareho yung ano, yung value ng ating required na steel area. So yan yung goal natin. So since meron na tayong ano, bagong value ng z, we are going to repeat again the procedure to solve for our required na steel area. Then after that, solve ulit yung a sub c, then compare ulit sa a sub f, and then you're going to calculate again your a. Once na may a na kayo, again, isosolve nyo ulit yung y by comparing yung a sub c tsaka a sub f. Once na may masolve na kayo na y na naman, then you are going to repeat again the process para masolve yung z. Once na may z na kayo, again, you have to perform again the second na iteration. So yung goal dito dapat ano yung value ng inyong steel area sa current na iteration, yung 2 decimals niya dapat maging the same doon sa previous na iteration ninyo. If that will be the case, pwede na kayong mag-stop ng iterative na process. So in here, it took me about 3, 4 iterations. Kasi as you can see here, dito sa ating ika-fourth na iteration, ito na ngayon yung value ng ating required na steel area, 1741.87. Kung i-compare natin to sa previous na iteration, 1741.87. So same na yung kanilang 2 decimals. So pwede na kayong mag-stop ng iterative na process. Hanggang fourth iteration na lang kayo. So from here, kung solve nyo ulit yung A sub C, is now equivalent to 30,738.9344. Compare nyo sa A sub F. So less than pa rin yung A sub C. So therefore, yung AC will just be equivalent to A times BF. Yung masasolve ninyo na value ng A dito is itong 16.8433. So after nito, is to solve again for your Y. Since may A na kayo na 16.8344, you divide it by 2, you'll get 8.4216 millimeters. So from here, ito na ngayon yung magiging final ninyo na moment arm, D minus Y for your Z. So after that, ko-compare nyo na ngayon yung steel area sa minimum na steel area. So the maximum value between these two equations here, yun yung mag-govern. So kung isa-solve natin, we have 0.25 times yung FC prime natin, which is 28, over Fy na 420, times yung width na 300, times yung D, 537.5. We'll get 507.89. Seven 0.89. Then second equation naman is 1.4 divided by Fy, 420 times 300 times 537.5. So we'll get 537.5 per. So yung maximum value is 537.5. So that is the reason why yan yung nag-govern. So after that, we're going to compare it doon sa na-solve natin from our iterative na process, yung required na steel area, 1741. Since yung 1741, yung AS natin is greater siya sa ating AS minimum, therefore, ito na ngayon yung mag-govern na steel area natin para makalculate natin yung ating number of bars. So after that is to solve for the steel area of each bar. So pi times 25 squared all over 4 will get 490.8739. After that is to calculate the required number of rebars. So 1741.8729. I-divide na lang natin ito sa ating area ng bar na 490.8739. So yung makalculate is 3.5485. And then yung adjusted na number of bars natin for single layer is 4 bars. After that, we're going to solve for the clear spacing. So first, solve muna natin yung inside radius na bed ng ating stirrup. Since yung diameter ng tie natin is 10 millimeters, therefore 20 yung magiging value ng R. After that is to solve for the minimum spacing ng rebar. So we have 25. Bar diameter natin, 25 pa rin. Then 4/3 ng diameter ng aggregate. 4/3 times yung diameter ng aggregate natin na 19, which is 25.333. So the maximum value among these three equations, yun yung mag-govern na minimum. We can also solve then for the maximum na spacing, but I'm going to skip it na lang because I'm just going to compare it na lang with the minimum na clear spacing. So the clear spacing natin, ito na. So we have yung width ng web natin na 300 minus 2 times clear concrete cover na 40 plus diameter ng stirrups na 10 plus yung inside radius natin na 20 minus yung number of bars is 4 minus 1 times yung diameter ng bar natin na 25 all over 4 minus 1. So we'll get a value of 28.333. Since this is greater than our minimum spacing na 25, therefore, yung spacing natin is adequate. So after that, pwede na natin ma-finalize na yun yung ating T-beam. So ito na yung ating T-beam. So yung B sub F is dito hanggang dito. So yung B sub F natin. Yung value nito is 1,825 millimeters. Next naman is yung flange na thickness na 100 dito hanggang dito. Ito yung H sub F. Then we have our H na 600. Dito naman hanggang dito. Ito yung H. Then lastly is yung BW na 300. Dito hanggang dito. Ito yung BW. And sa number of rebars, meron tayong 4 na 25 millimeters, tsaka yung clear spacing is 28.333. So wala na tayong second layer. So that ends our design of T-beam. Then yung next naman natin na i-discuss is yung investigation for which yung na-design natin na T-beam, we're going to investigate or determine yung strain capacity, yung phi-mn. Then we're going to compare it with the factored moment if safe ba for flexure or hindi yung na-design natin na beam.